Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food that we find most satisfying. The food that we find that sticks to our ribs. The food that we call down home. A food that we learn to eat in the quarters. And yet we dare say that we have escaped slavery. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people?
Peace and blessings on this rainy, stormy, crazy Monday night. It's crazy out here, y'all. I'm telling you, I never seen so much rain in my life. But thank you for tuning in. This is the Monday Mindset, and today we're talking about how your words have power. My mother used to say, always say, I'm not going to claim it. She used to always tell me, do not claim these things. And I didn't understand till I got older that the words that we confess, the words that we put out have power, have power on our reality. Most of the time, when we fail to achieve our goals in life, we confess and believe the wrong things. We are putting ourselves in a position of servitude by uttering the words that are adversary to our spirit. Even if the beginning of our lives we fought with unfavorable influence, we could break free from the shackles of captivity if we utter positive words into our lives at the correct time. Speaking words can prepare our spirit or our emotions for success or failure. Words are like receptacles. They can hold hope or dread or give birth to more of the same. Sound and vibration make up what we know as words. These frequencies bring into existence the reality that we find ourselves immersed in. The universe, our lives, and our perception of reality were all brought into existence by the power of language, a concept that can only materialize into actuality with words that we express. We have been instructed on this throughout history, dating back to biblical times. In the Bible, it is written that God said, "Let there be light," which resulted in the creation of light. So what's the takeaway? If our thoughts and words are tools we construct our reality, then indeed our words and thoughts are the most potent weapon we have access. Words are in our toolbox. How we express what we feel and how we express what we say is one of the most powerfulest things that we have. If we want to construct the best possible version of our reality, we always should use the best terms. Dick Gregory said, when we speak bad, it intentions 7 trillion cells. Come on, that's right. Absolutely, Jack. Absolutely. Because of this broken society and other people's toxic, harmful energy are the sources of illness, morality, dread, doubt, it is best to avoid using any of these terms. They all communicate negative confessions. Expressions such as, "she makes me sick," "I am dying to go," "it frightened the living daylights out of me," "I doubt he will ever change," are example of other words and phrases that are unhealthy and negative. We must resolve to improve our vocabulary and pray to God and asking him to show us the words that we are speaking into our own lives and into the lives of others are bringing about devastation. When single mothers, when you talk to your sons and you have issues with the father, don't say to your sons, you are no good like your father. Speak life into your children, whether it's a boy or a girl when they're growing up. Words are very important, especially with young children. Even the vocabulary that we use have to change. We if we are spiritual beings, and we are, like, we shouldn't believe in being luck, have luck, or be or these type of phrases that something that happens, by chance, right? Because when we believe in that, we put the power of bad luck and good luck over our spirits and over our reality. Nothing happens by coincidence. We don't live by that or predetermined events. We should walk as Black men and women with vision and trust in God, and speaking in that type of language. Although there may be some truth, we don't need to proceed in the same manner as before. We frequently overhear individuals talking in an obsessive way about the generational trauma that played roles in our life. People often assert things such as, every woman in my mother's family line had diabetes by the time they were 30, right? My grandmother died of cancer. My mother died of cancer. These statements are common. And if we frequently hear people making them, the doctor says, I just have to learn. Here's another one. The doctor says, I just have to learn to live with the condition. These are words that we speak, right? Even over our sickness. We should not speak all these things. Oh, all my family were alcoholics, so I'm just going to be an alcoholic too. Or my family is cursed, so I'm just going to be cursed too. By bringing these things into your existence through your speech, you'll be accurate about your life. See, I don't believe in that stuff. As a culture, we've been socialized to focus on the negative aspects of our lives and the difficulty we face. We take our understanding of what has happened, other people, and ourselves, and then we communicate those understandings to the world, thereby giving them form. When we complain about our lives to others, we effectively send those negative words to the world, and it becomes reality. This is an acknowledgement of what we've made. When you repeat something aloud enough times, your words become truth in your mind and your thoughts of everybody else who you speak to. When you say something out loud enough, your words will manifest to be the truth. There's an old saying, if you speak a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. A lot of politicians do that. So they talk it, they'll talk a lie like it's the truth, because they have believed it themselves. And they put it out there. And they put it out there long enough, everybody believes it. That's how powerful words are. Look at that congressman or senator who won, and then they find out after they voted for him, he wasn't nothing that he said he was. But he stood on that falsehood that it became the truth. And he believed that it was the truth. And people went out and voted for him until he was exposed. That's how powerful words are. Words can make or break a person. We can enhance our self-awareness by paying close attention to our language when talking about ourselves and our lives. Start being more deliberate about the words that come out of your mouth. Avoid using negative and powerless terms like can't, shouldn't, need, won't in your everyday conversations. They deprive you of the potential to bring the kind of life you would like to lead and put into existence. Check this out. Frame your words, frame your choices so they can have more positive impact in your world. Since you are the one who has created your existence, whatever you say is final. You create your existence. Nobody else does. Therefore, the next time you notice yourself using negative words, control the framework of your words so they can be more positive and have an impact on your energy level and your spirit and the world around you. Your words are the color you use to create a picture of your reality. Make an intelligent and optimistic word choices to co-create the fact that serves your best interests. So we need to use our words better, brothers and sisters. We need to focus on that. Our words have a lot of power. And we should understand that. So that was a quick Monday motivation. And your words have power. Trying to see if anybody else. And your words have powers, brothers and sisters. And check out this Saturday. This Saturday, please come to the Mount Vernon Public Library and check out Dr. Cedric and his great book, The 7 Steps to Prevent Chronic Diseases. It's a great book. We're going to be doing an interview. If you was watching earlier, today, we had Dr. Cedric on WVOX, and we was just giving a short glimpse to what he will talk about. And he's a self-care advocate. Definitely get this book. I tell everybody to get this book. It's a very good book. We have to start, as Dr. Cedric, we have to start slowly removing ourselves from the healthcare model, which is built. America has built a healthcare model that is not getting us better. We are getting sicker under the current healthcare model. So we have to create a self-care model. And as I said, your kitchen is your medicine cabinet. Everything you need to get better, to fight diseases, is in your kitchen. You have to keep it in your kitchen. It's the food that you eat. That's why we have to get back to cooking at home. We're in such of a fast-paced, try to get money life that we don't eat at home. And then we get put on drugs, and the drugs give us side effects, and they give us more drugs for the side effects. And the only thing we have to do is change how we see food and change our relationship to food. And we could actually beat chronic illness just with food, our mindset, prayer, meditation, and some exercise, and getting some goddamn sleep. And turning this off sometime. Turn this off. Some of y'all can't even turn your cell phone off for an hour. You can't even turn your cell phone off for an hour. And the sad thing about it is you have to turn the phone itself. It has to be turned off and restarted. It has to be recalibrated. Your computers have to be recalibrated. So if this has to be recalibrated from time to time, why don't you recalibrate your body and your mind? Lay your ass down and relax. But we can't even do that. And we wonder why we're getting sick, and we wonder why we're stressed out, and we wonder why we have anxiety. We do it to ourselves. But it's easier for us to blame other people. Instead of what we do to ourselves. We're the ones that put the bad food in our mouths. We're the ones that don't get up and do some exercise and move our body and stress. We do that to ourselves. We can't blame nobody else. Take time out for yourself. And then you're walking around looking with the down face and all mad and evil because you're not taking care of your body. You're not taking care of your spirit. You're literally hurting yourself chasing money, and then you die, and whoever gets your money blows it. So you worked all those years, you bust your behind all those years and did all this to die. You can't take it with you. Can't take it with you. We better learn how to enjoy life. And the life that we have in this beautiful body that God gave us. And love ourselves. Begin to love yourself. See, these are the words you have to start putting out. And that's about the power of words. They know how to get you. So let's start loving ourselves, man. Let's start as the good doctor says, let's start being our own self-care advocate. Let's start speaking powerful. Let's start speaking health language into our lives. When are we going to start doing that? We speak everything else but health into our lives. And we wonder why we just, every time you turn on your little Facebook timeline, somebody's dying. I know I'm not the only one that noticed it. That somebody, every time you scroll down the timeline, somebody's dying. Because we're not speaking health into our lives. We're not speaking health into the universe. What comes out of our mouths majority of the time is death, is bullshit. And it's reflecting in the world that's around you. And we're so caught up that we don't even see it. We don't even see it. So I want to thank everybody that's watched tonight and understand that your words have power. And I hope to see a lot of y'all at the Mount Vernon Public Library this Saturday. Dr. Cedric, it's a book signing and conversation with Dr. Cedric, the 7 steps to prevent chronic disease. This brother here is a pharmacist. He makes medication. And he's saying, yo, we could do without the medication, and we could have steps to be healthy so you won't be on medication for the rest of your life. Because the modern health system are just drug dealers. The modern health system are drug dealers. They're quick to give you a pill instead of talking about nutrition, exercise, because they're not trained in that. They're not trained to talk about that. And then you be on the same medication for the next 30 years. Then they give you another medication for the side effect and another medication for that side effect. So come on out this Saturday, man. It's at 11 a.m. to 12:30. Come on out and see Dr. Cedric. And you could go Amazon and get my book, The Empowering Benefits of Detoxing, Cleansing, and Eating Clean. And at the end of this month, God willing, I have a book coming out called The Book of Black Love. And we talk about how Black love is created from the divine union of the Black man and Black woman coexisting in an unselfish partnership in mental, spiritual, and a physical state of success. How do we as men and women deal in the realm of Black love for success instead of some of this nonsense that we're talking about? I'm going to put the link that you can sign up for the mailing list, so when it comes out, you could get, it's going to be on Amazon. It's The Book of Black Love. Also check out I got The Strategies of Self. The Strategies of Self. This is a good book. A brother came up to me the other day and said he's actually teaching this book in one of his classes. That's a beautiful thing. The Strategies of Self. Understanding Yourself for Success. This is a good book for young men and women. And then also, you got the 53 building blocks to be a divine Black masculine. This is for Black men. How do we be in our Black divine masculinity? How do we take our community back? It's 53 steps about ourselves and getting our shit together. Having our shit together before we take on a mate. Before we go out here and look for women. Getting ourselves together. That's what this is about. Sisters talk about there's no good Black men. Well, we have to start making them. We have to start having rites of passage. Other ethnic groups do. We don't do that. Our rites of passage are the barbershops, are the corner, the street corner. Sunday brunch. That's our rites of passage. We have to have rites of passages. So to teach young men to become men. Listen, I'm pumping all my books. Black Minds Must Matter, The Fight Against Anxiety and Depression. More young Black men are committing suicide than ever before. And we are not actually saying that there's a health crisis out there. The mental health of Black men is not discussed as it should be on a national level. And young Black men are out here committing suicide. We have to create safe spaces for Black men. They have no place to go. The churches must start making these spaces. The churches must start, the churches must start teaching our people how to eat. There's a report that says the most unhealthy Black man is the Black man that goes to church every Sunday. That's the most obese Black man. How are we going to be obese and we believe in a God that's going to give us abundance? That's an oxymoron. That should not be a fact. So I challenge the pastors out there. Start a rite of passage. Start a place that young Black men can go and get mental help. If you got the Bible, teach from the Bible. Teach them to be mindful. Teach them how to be men. The Bible gives great directions. We just have to follow them. We just have to follow them to love our wives and give our lives for our wives like Christ gave his life to the church. We just have to understand that. That's one of the greatest submission, is giving your life for your wife like Christ gave his life for the church. It tells men to do that. And women walking around talking about, oh, I don't want to submit. That submit is crazy. Yeah, but the man has to give his life. He has to give his life. Like Christ gave his life to the church. That's submission. To give your life. Bible's not asking the woman to give her life. He's asking the woman to be a helpmeet. But he's telling the man to give his life for his wife. Come on, man. We got things so backwards. And we wonder why our community is in such turmoil. And let me tell you something. You got these fools out here arguing about affirmative action. Pharaoh is letting y'all Negroes go. He's letting y'all go. And you got these educated Negroes scared because Pharaoh is letting you go. Take your $2.4 to $4 trillion of spending power and build your own institutions, Black folks. Start buying from Black companies. No, they don't have to sell to you no more. For the last 400 years, they took your money. But you still believe the white man's ice is colder. His soda is sweeter. His cleaning detergent cleans better. Pharaoh has let y'all go. Start your businesses. Employ Black people. Build your community like every other ethnic group does. You don't hear the Asians crying about affirmative action. You don't hear the immigrants that just got here yesterday crying about affirmative action. They're pooling their resources, they're putting their money together, and they're buying land. They're opening up businesses in their little community. And they got here yesterday. Come on, y'all. That's why I don't even watch the news no more. You got these Negroes crying about affirmative action. So what? We need liberation. And we need some separation. Until we get our mind together that we can sit at the table with white people on an equal level. Right now, we're not at an equal level. When we sit at the table with white people, we got our hands out begging. And we don't even have the common sense to build our own table. Negroes out here crying about affirmative action, and we got $4 trillion of buying power. The hell with your affirmative action. We are spending money with ourselves. Poor black people don't even got a large black toilet paper company. The white man disappeared yesterday. We can't even wipe our damn behind. We got it twisted. If we supposed to be God's people, what are we worried about the government that God condemned? Let me tell you how sick we are. They vote every 4 years to give us the right to vote. Think about that. They vote every 4 years to give black people the right to vote. How the hell are you American? And you gotta let these fools give you the right to vote. What kind of craziness is that? That's not being an American. We're still a slave. You're an educated slave. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear what I'm saying, but you're an educated slave. If you got to get the right to vote for every 4 years with all your education, you got to go down to Washington, D.C. and let them white men vote to give you the right to vote. With all your education and all your Mercedes Benzes and all your money and all your Birkin bags and all your Gucci bags, they still give you the right to vote every 4 years. You're a slave. We got it twisted. We got it backwards. And listening to these Negroes talking about affirmative action. The only affirmative action we need is unity, love, and faith in God, and spend that $4 trillion within ourselves. That's why I don't watch none of these goddamn news shows. They're so far from divinity, and they continue to make us slaves. I want y'all to think about that. That's how powerful. When we started off the show, we were talking about how words have power. That's how powerful words are. They got y'all thinking that you're part of this system when you're not. Pharaoh's letting you go. And now what are we going to do? Wander in the wilderness with $4 trillion? Absolutely. We have to change our mindset. Absolutely. No, he's not coming. He's not coming. He's not coming. Absolutely not. We have to do it. We have to do it, brothers and sisters. If we say we believe in God, because they're letting us go. But we have the tools to do it. We have the tools to do it. And we still refuse to do it because those that lead us need to be close to Pharaoh, because that's how they get their money. Being close to Pharaoh, that's how they get their money. They're witch doctors. And not in a good sense. See, and that's why I teach we have to, the mindset we have to have a health mindset to give us a spiritual mind, a spiritual mindset. Exactly. Exactly. We are the only group of people who remained in the land of our enslavement, and we expect those who benefit from the prison entitlement of white supremacy and oppression to treat us as equals. It will never happen. And you're absolutely right. And other people have been saying it, and it will never happen. It will never happen. They still gonna have us begging. We've been begging since we were freed. Matter of fact, we had more land after the Emancipation Proclamation than we have now. So we were better off right after slavery. We had a better mindset. We had a better mindset before. We had a better mindset in segregation when we were segregated. We built our own. Absolutely. Absolutely. And now with the use of social media, they got black people just chasing dreams. They got black men wearing dresses. They got hip hop. They done turned hip hop to a bunch of men in dresses. Come on, man. Like we can do better. We could do better. And we need to begin to speak the words of health. We need to speak the words of wellness. We need to speak the words of wealth. That's why words have power. You know, so hope y'all got something out of this. And understand that words that we speak have power. Words that we speak to our children, especially our children, our babies. Words that we speak to our babies have power. Sisters and brothers, I don't care when y'all have children, I don't care what's going on between you two. Always speak power to your children. Even if you're mad at the mammy, even if you're mad at the daddy, speak power to your children. Speak positivity to your children. That's why so many children have mental health issues, man, because of their parents, because the words that come out their parents' mouths. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? You know, speak positive words to your children. So they don't have mental health issues when they grow up listening to your toxic negative words. Thank you. So I'm gonna go next. Please come out and see Dr. Cedric this Sunday at the Mount Vernon Public Library at 8 p.m. I mean, July 8th, I'm sorry, at July 8th at 11 a.m. At 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We're going to be talking about we're going to talk about his book, The 7 Steps to Prevent Chronic Diseases. Every church should be having this book. And my book too, don't get it twisted. Every church should have this book. Should have health books. Every church should have health books. Every church need to be teaching detoxing, cleansing, and eating clean. Every church should be teaching the 7 steps to prevent chronic disease. Every church. And the reason why I say and the reason why I say that, because that's the easiest way to get the Black people through the church. So every church should have it. And if you're available, please come out this Saturday, the 8th at 11 a.m. to 12:30 to see my brother, Dr. Cedric. Thank you. And y'all have a blessed day. Remember, next Monday, the Monday mindset I'll be back next Monday. Every Monday, I'm going to be consistent until we get it right. So I'm going to be here a long time. But thanks everybody, and y'all have a blessed night. Peace out, and remember, God is in your vegetables. Peace.
What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. The food that we find most satisfying. The food that we find that sticks to our ribs. The food that we call down home. A food that we learn to eat in the quarters. And yet we dare say that we have escaped slavery. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people? Slave food. What kind of food do you eat? You say soul food? Was that the food of African people?